The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Monday morning. We are days away from the kickoff of college football. We are less than 2 weeks away from the kickoff of the NFL on September 4th as the Dallas Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Phillies. It is right there around the corner. I am excited about it. I know you are excited about it as well. As always, the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by our friends over at Crushed Peanuts. Visit them online at crushedpeanuts.com. Guys, it's 9 grams of protein. The perfect supplement that you need to start your workout or to start your day. The only way you can crush your day is with Crushed Peanuts. Visit them online at crushedpeanuts.com. Here in El Paso, you can get them on the east side at various Valero and Chevron stations. Ask for them at your local convenience store. Look at that. Look at me being professional and all kinds of things. Once again, shout out to everyone that is tuned in. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all over the place. Augustine saying that he is crushing it right now. Hopefully in a good way. Hopefully in the best of ways. Augustine is crushing it. You know who's not crushing it? Shiloh Sanders. Shiloh Sanders was ejected from a game. It was not enough. Like I went back, I saw the play. I'm not going to play the play here on the show. I went back, I saw some of the plays there. Getting flagged, getting ejected because he, punched at another player's helmet, kind of slapped at the side of the helmet as well. And Shiloh Sanders gets ejected from the game and then unceremoniously waived by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I thought maybe, just maybe, Shiloh had an opportunity. Beastrill saying good morning, Tip. Tommy Canazzo tuning in at the same time saying good morning, Tip. Good morning, gentlemen. Hope that you all are doing well today. Augustine reminding me that crushed peanuts is in Naturals to Go vending machines. That is awesome. That is awesome. Expanding and growing the way that they should be. I'm going to need a couple more boxes, Augustine. A couple more. Ooh, they got the new flavors coming out. We also got to make sure we send our dude Bistrilla some of these boxes as well. Crushed peanuts. Visit them online, crushedpeanuts.com. Augustine saying, yes, I'll send them ASAP. Well, I appreciate that, Augustine. You are both a gentleman and a scholar sometimes. But watching Shiloh Sanders, Augustine saying, yes, and we need to do a show together, 100%. But watching the Shiloh Sanders play, like the highlight that I saw on ESPN, because I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't watch Tampa Bay Buccaneers games. Saturday night, the Locomotive were back in El Paso, back-to-back games. They win that game, get themselves 3 points, move up into second place in the USL standings, beating Sacramento Republic. A 1-0 game. Augustine saying Shiloh Sanders is an idiot. I guess whenever you're like a fringe team, well, like a fringe bubble team or like a fringe guy trying to make the roster, you got to do everything to make sure you make the roster, right? Like you can't be getting ejected from games. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Shiloh was drafted, was he? Like he was an undrafted free agent, right? Let's check in here on Shiloh Sanders. Augustine saying he's talking soccer time. I'm talking local soccer. I'm hoping that Tommy can get behind our El Paso Locomotive. But I was at work. I was working. That's why I couldn't watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then yesterday I started watching, just mainlining. I'm 4 episodes deep now of the Dallas Cowboys documentary. America's team, the gambler and his Cowboys. And I'm watching some of it and I'm like, damn. They're making Jimmy Johnson look like he's the bad guy here. I get it that it's a Jerry Jones production. But if indeed, and there were newspaper clippings, if indeed Jimmy Johnson was talking to the Jacksonville Jaguars about becoming their head coach, maybe he deserved to go. Maybe he needed to go. Maybe it was time. Maybe it was time to go. Jerry sends you a cheers. I hope I'm not spoiling this for anybody. Jerry sends you a cheers. We won a championship. Cheers. You raise your glass. Norv Turner and Dave Wanstad raise their glass, and you just sit there with your arms folded. That's kind of a dick move. Again, I hate that I'm on the side of Jerry Jones here. Now, obviously, Jerry should, don't be so damn sensitive. Don't just take your ball and go home. Wild. It's been fun to watch, though. It's been fun to watch. I'm 2 Super Bowls deep. Getting to watch them in high def now. Jesus. Intergalactical as well, Tommy. Are we going to add that as well? Soccer's played throughout the universe in multiverses. Soccer's being played. Just F it. All over the place. Man. I love that. Like the hatred towards soccer is real. Like it's 100% real. Jesus. I thought it was like a thing just to make Augustine mad. This seems like it's Tommy, like, yeah, then there too. Everywhere. If there was like a multiverse, I don't know, like maybe we're talking a little too much, right? I would like to think that there is such a thing as like multiple universes and things of that nature. Right? Like, it can't just be this. I talk about this all the time, like, whenever people actually want to have conversations with me. I guess I can't say all the time, but from time to time, I'll talk about this, right? Where I think I'd much rather know that there's other life out there somewhere, intelligent life out there somewhere, than thinking that we're on this universe alone. That maybe they're doing it better slightly than we are. Their orange Cheeto looking president isn't ruining everything for them in some other universe out there. I'd like to think that, because it feels super lonely if we are the only living life form in the universe. I think that's more terrifying than if there were aliens out there somewhere. Like, oh, it's just us? Oh. So we're the mistake. Nice. Nice. I'm used to being called a mistake. I almost got through that without laughing. Damn it. Damn it. Augustine saying, there's a great game for you to watch today, people. Liverpool versus Newcastle. I will try to watch that game, Augustine. I will try. If you promise to try to go a week without hating on the Dallas Cowboys or their fans, I feel like that's a good enough trade-off. Augustine saying it's going to be at 1 p.m. today. Ooh, I might be at work. Maybe in the multiverse, I love soccer and hate football. Nah, it's F soccer there too. In every universe, the one consistent is that Tommy Cananza hates soccer. Augustine saying, hey, a game is 90 minutes. I know, but it'll be stuck and burned into my memory for at least a week. At least a week. I'm still coming off the high that I had watching our El Paso Locomotive, who are undefeated since I joined on as one of the audio video people. Maybe it's me. I'm just throwing it out there, watching them lose like the next 5 games. Clearly, it's not me. I have nothing to do with the product on the field, guys. Other than making sure it sounds good. Which, for the most part, sounded okay. Went back, watched a couple of things, some things I need to learn on. Augustine saying, you can't cut my cowboy hatred like that. I mean, I'm not. It almost like the way that you hate the Cowboys and the way that Tommy hates soccer, nothing brings people together quite like mutual hate. I've said that a bunch of times. A bunch of times. We're talking about Shiloh Sanders. It feels like it's a nothing story, right? Like, genuinely, like, it feels like, okay, this dude just got ejected, throwing a punch. They're showing the video. Like, if that was the video, like, also, that wasn't much of a punch. Like, if you're going to risk being ejected, my guy, you better go out there with everything you got. Not just, a tiny little jab at somebody or anything of that nature. You better go out swinging with every little thing that you got. I was looking up if Shiloh Sanders was drafted. No, he was not drafted in the 2025 draft. Bistro saying that he's going to hold on to his soccer comments until after he gets his package from Augustine. I like that. I mean, no, Augustine's a good dude. Saying, by the way, thank you again, Augustine. Augustine's a good dude, even if you like he hates every aspect about me. Shedeur Sanders did go undrafted. He was signed as an undrafted free agent with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You've got to know that you've got to be on your P's and Q's. You got to be acting the best you can possibly act in order to make it to an NFL roster. If you're on the bubble and you can be cut at any time and it doesn't cost the team anything, to lose your goofy ass, you cannot be out there. And I get it. He was egged on, right? Like if you look at it, number 84, I think his name is Dawson or something like that. No, it's not Dawson Knox. I got to look who number 84 for Buffalo is. Looking up who number 84 for Buffalo is. That's funny that they have Frank Gore Jr. there. Okay, Zach Davidson, a second-year tight end, was, pushing him around, doing all that stuff. He hits him with the too little and all that. I get it, right? Like he was egging you on. But you've also got to remember, if you get kicked out of a game in the preseason and you're one of these dudes trying to make it to a roster, you can't be acting that way. And it's heightened even more whenever your last name is Sanders and your dad is Primetime and your brother is Shador. Augustine Epstein. Is that what we're getting at here? On the border of that? We're right there. We're on the cusp of it. Aug Epstein. Oh, man. Now I got to make another picture. It's been a while. Where is it? It's been a while since we had Auguste Ferratu come out. Will Shiloh Sanders get an opportunity with another team? That's more than likely a UFL type of transaction, right? Like, we're going to see Shiloh in the UFL. I don't think, unless barring like major injuries somewhere, I don't think that we're going to be seeing Shiloh in the NFL, like at all. And I felt bad the other day because during Fire and Ice, we were watching the Browns. Wow. Shiloh was more like his dad than Shador, in my opinion, says B. Strilla. Didn't Shiloh file for bankruptcy already? Yeah. Forgot about that. Shiloh Sanders filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in October of 2023. 4 days ago, according to USA Today, bankruptcy case still looms large for Buccaneers rookie safety Shiloh Sanders. Tampa Bay Buccaneers rookie safety Shiloh Sanders might be a close call to make the team's 53-man roster. Wow, that didn't work out well for him. Tampa Bay head coach Todd Bowles recently said that Sanders is a quote-unquote very hungry player, but that this week would be very important in determining who makes the cut, including a preseason game August 23rd against Buffalo. Got to remember, this was 4 days ago, this article. In the meantime, perhaps nobody else has a bigger financial stake right now in what happens to Sanders than the man Sanders owes more than $11 million. That man is John Darjean, a former security guard at Sanders' school in Dallas. When Sanders was a 15-year-old, Sanders' son of Colorado head coach Deion Sanders is still trying to get a debt erased in bankruptcy court after filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in 2023. If Shiloh succeeds in court, he can start over financially, free from that debt and with minimal damage to his bank account. But if Darjean succeeds in court instead, Sanders will not be discharged of his debt to him. Darjean could then pursue the debt collection against him after the case is over, including by having his wages garnished with the Buccaneers, according to experts from the USA Today. I mean, that's like, does he owe him $11 million? Like, how does Shiloh have $11 million in debt and he's just graduating college? Like just graduated college, I assume. You're 24, 25 years old, and you're $11 million in debt? Jesus Christ, how does that happen? Meanwhile, Shiloh does things on his own and is feisty like his dad. Dion would have swung on the dude, too. Yeah, that's more than likely. But again, like, that's the 90s, right? Like, you can't swing on anyone anymore. And I think I said it earlier, and if I didn't, I'm sorry. But it wasn't much to me. Like I didn't see much there for him to get ejected from. I get it, you can't, be throwing punches and stuff like that, but I feel like the referees also got to have a little bit of like leniency towards it, because again, 84 was just pushing him, bullying him, doing all this stuff. Shiloh's like, okay, I'm done with the play, got his hands up. Dude keeps pushing him, gives him one final shove, and Shiloh just kind of swipes at his head. That's not enough for me to warrant an ejection. Now, I don't know if there was more, right? Maybe that's on me. Maybe I need to go back and watch some more of that video. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Got it. Not letting me. Okay, let's see. Let's watch this play here. I'm watching Shiloh getting pushed around. He's at about the 15-yard line right now. This guy has the video paused for whatever reason, I guess for the effect, because now I'm just watching this guy's video. Shiloh getting pushed. Pause the video once again so that he can talk. And he's like, this is the moment where Shiloh Sanders was about to swing on Zach Davidson. This exact moment right here. Like if that's all it is, and again, I'm only watching this video to see if there was more following the punch. If there was more following it, and there wasn't. And it wasn't really like, it was more of a slap across the face mask, right? Like it's not much of anything. Davidson did a great job selling it. And Davidson did kind of like grab him by the side of the helmet too. So like, I mean, again though, if you're in debt, $11 million, and you've got to find a way to make a roster so that you can wind up paying some of this debt off, you've got to be like on your best behavior at all times, right? Like make the roster, get that contract, start making some money. Because now it's going to be even more difficult. Like it's going to be impossible almost for him to make a roster now. Like he's going to have to go to the UFL, and the UFL ain't going to pay all that much. What is the average salary? I had it there. The average UFL salary is $62,000. It's going to be increased to $64,000 in 2026. But the average salary for a UFL player is $62,000 for now. $62,005, which is strange. Well, I wonder what the 5 is there for, but whatever. I'm just some dude. What do I know about numbers, right? That's nowhere near what the NFL, let's see. Because he would have made the NFL rookie minimum, which is $840,000. Effectively 11 times less money is what he's going to maybe make if he makes it to the UFL. And again, maybe. You have to go with that maybe if he makes it to the UFL. Maybe he can go play in the CFL. Let's see what the Canadian Football League is. The CFL actually pays a little better, $70,000. Maybe you go play in the CFL, but still $70,000 compared to $840,000 is a huge, huge drop off in money that you could have made, especially if you had the financial issues that Shiloh Sanders has right now. It's crazy to me. It's like it's just wild to me how you would just shoot yourself in the foot that way if you were Shiloh Sanders. And again, I'm hard pressed to see any team that would be like, you know what? Yeah, let's bring this guy on. Again, not just because of him going undrafted and everything like that, but because of the fact that you're going to be dealing with like all the drama. And that's why, Tommy, I know you're putting it right here. I just went to check it out. It wasn't that bad. I can see why they ejected him, but to cut him, there has to be more to the story, and that's exactly what I was getting at. There's got to be something else there, right? Like he's got to be, and maybe it'll be leaked out sometime somewhere, but like he's got to be bad in the locker room, or he's got to be like just a bad teammate or something. Because that wasn't much of a punch. Again, I feel like it's finicky. I wouldn't have ejected anybody on that if I were a referee. But I'm just like, it's, again, a privilege, right? Like you are privileged to play in the NFL. It's not your birthright to be able to play in the NFL. So for me, I'm just like, if you have that opportunity, you have to hold on to it. Like, you have to hold on to it. Maybe he goes to the UFL, CFL, whatever, plays some football there. Maybe he can make it back to the NFL eventually. But if I'm an NFL team right now, I want to stay away from it because it feels like you're more than likely going to have that media circus, right? This is the downside of what Dion did with these guys. This is the downside of that. Like Shedeur Sanders, if his last name wasn't Sanders, probably gets drafted higher, probably has zero drama to have to deal with, right? Like that's what we're talking about. Doesn't get highlighted as, oh, Shedeur Sanders took 5 sacks. Maybe he's not going to make the roster for the Cleveland Browns. He's going to make that roster. And I agree with Tommy. I agree with Tommy 100%, who goes out here and says that he feels like this could be just the tip of the story.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Visit myhappynuts.com, guys. They've got the brand new Lawnmower 2.0, stronger blades, smoother glide. You ain't got to worry about all the nicks and cuts and all the other stuff that comes along with it. Take care of yourself. Groom yourself the way that you should be. Be proud of your appearance all the time. And, of course, we have the www.myhappynuts Comfort Cream as well. Make sure you ain't got to worry about the stanky leg or anything else like that. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code MikeTipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. Tommy, I hope because you put that comment out there that the kids were not in the car, because that was before 8:30, slightly before 8:30. I must have started the show late. Jesus, what happened here? I don't remember starting the show late. Maybe I'm just in a weird time warp of everything that's going on in the world right now. Okay. Tommy was saying they have been dropped off. Okay, good. Tommy knows what he's doing. He did it on purpose, guys. He had the layup there, the alley-oop. I just had to dunk it on down. Thank you, Tommy. Assist to Tommy for just the tip. That might be the first time Tommy has gotten an assist on a just the tip. That's fantastic. According to an article on ESPN.com, Shedeur Sanders says that he is confident that he will make the Cleveland Browns 53-man roster despite struggling in Saturday's preseason game, adding that he eventually wants to, quote-unquote, be a player to be able to change a franchise. It's wild how quick a couple of weeks in the preseason can change your perception of anybody, right? Shedeur Sanders goes out, gets a couple of tutties in his first game against the third string of the Carolina Panthers, winds up completing 60% of his passes. Then he goes in, starts the second half of Saturday, completes 3 of 6 passes for 14 yards, and was sacked 5 times by the Rams' second string offense or second string defense. Sacked 5 times and had 1 first down in his 5 drives against the Rams' second string and third string defense. And you have to remember that was the knock on Shedeur, right? Like, he holds on to the ball a little too long. I'm not praying for anybody's downfall. Like I genuinely am not. But I also feel like, again, going back with like the Shiloh thing, if his last name's not Sanders, we're not even worried about this. He's more than likely, a third or fourth string quarterback. The Cleveland Browns are going to need something, right? And I said it on Fire and Ice. I feel like the Browns are just going to go Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders because that's what makes the most sense. You already know what you got out of Kenny Pickett. It's time to move on from Kenny Pickett. You're going to have the contract of Deshaun Watson just sitting there. Deshaun Watson, more than likely not going to play this year. Just let it ride out the way that it needs to do, right? Joe Flacco can start. Either one of those two, Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders, can start a couple of games here and there, and you get to see what you have for the future. The Browns are going to be bad, objectively bad. We went over the first, 8 games of the season, and all of those games seem like they can be losses. Maybe the Jets is a game that they can win, but all 8 of those games feel like it's going to be a loss. And it feels like it's one of those seasons, again, for the Cleveland Browns, who have gone through these seasons year after year after year, the UTEP of the NFL, where it just feels like there's not any light at the end of the tunnel. You have 2 young rookie quarterbacks. I mentioned it again on Saturday. The first time you had 2 rookie quarterbacks drafted in the same draft since 2012, going back with Kirk Cousins and Robert Griffin III. You've got to go with both of them, right? Like, you have to have both of those. Like, I get it, they're both rookie quarterbacks, but you have Joe Flacco there. Maybe I'm just going with like the law of averages, right? Joe Flacco's 197 years old, so maybe he's there to help out these young quarterbacks in learning the ropes on how to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Dylan Gabriel looked okay. Wasn't great. Wasn't terrible. Looked okay. Looked like a serviceable quarterback in the NFL. Had a couple of rollouts to the left. Love me a left-handed quarterback. Had a couple of rollouts to the left. Completed some passes. He looked good. Shedeur had a hiccup. A little bit of a step back. Not enough to be like, oh, man, he's not going to make the roster now. How devastating would it be, though? How much would the media jump on if both he and Shiloh were cut? But I also feel like Shedeur's not in the same boat as Shiloh, right? Like, if Shedeur was cut, I think somebody would pick him up. Not like he'd be a serviceable third quarterback on any team out there. So I don't see Cleveland moving on this quick. Like, I just genuinely don't see that happening with the Cleveland Browns. Because maybe he does okay during the regular season, and now he's building up trade value, right? That's kind of what I feel like would be the best move for the Cleveland Browns. There's no need to cut him. There's no need to get rid of him. It wasn't like it didn't look good, but it wasn't that bad. It's kind of the same thing with Shiloh, right? It's not a good look, but it wasn't that bad. The little slap across the helmet wasn't that bad to get cut. So there has to be something else there. If Shedeur were to get cut, there has to be something else there. But I also don't think that Cleveland's going to do that. But you've also got to look. The Browns have Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Tyler Huntley, Deshaun Watson, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. So there's got to be a couple of odd men out there, right? A couple of odd men out. I don't think there's any trade value right now in Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders. And I don't think that Cleveland's going to take 4 quarterbacks into the regular season. Like it feels insane if Cleveland were to do that, to just walk in with 4 quarterbacks, right? And it's going to be either Kenny Pickett or Tyler Huntley as one of those other guys. And let's not forget Deshaun Watson's still there. You can't have 5 quarterbacks on payroll. Like you just can't do that entering the regular season. I would have thought some of these guys would have been cut, maybe traded. Something like that could have happened. It's going to be interesting to watch what the Browns do. They're going to have an absolutely terrible season coming up. 0-17 might be a real thing for the Cleveland Browns this year. I had mentioned it on Saturday that we got some college football action that was happening as well. We had a top 25 matchup. I didn't even realize until the day came that it was a top 25 matchup between Iowa State and Kansas State. Iowa State, the number 22 team in the country. Kansas State, the number 17 team in the country. Avery Johnson, the quarterback of Kansas State, taking on Rocco Becht, the quarterback of Iowa State. Iowa State gets the win 24-21 in Dublin, Ireland, because nothing says Ireland quite like Iowa State and Kansas State. It was just nice, right? Like, again, I'm watching the game while I'm over at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive, the west side of El Paso. Join us every Saturday for Fire and Ice and some amazing deals that they have over there at Buffalo Wild Wings. It was just nice to have college football back because it means that we're right around the corner. And again, less than 2 weeks away from having the NFL back. The Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles Thursday, September 4th, the kickoff game of the season. I'm looking for a place to watch it. I might just go to one of the Union draft houses or something like that. I want to try to watch as many Cowboys games as I can with Cowboys fan clubs, just because I feel like we need that support system. So, Tommy, if you know of a place, let me know. I think Fanatics has a place. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes this year. I might miss one Cowboys game because of my new work schedule, but that's fine. I'll be perfectly okay with that. It'll be probably the second game of the season, so I got to figure out how I'm going to get that done. I actually know if it's a day game, got to check out the Dallas Cowboys schedule. What time is that second game of the season? Oh, no, that's an 11 o'clock game. I'm definitely missing that game. It's against the Giants, though, so the Cowboys should win that game. For those that don't know, for the day baseball games, like the afternoon baseball games that start off at 12 o'clock in the morning, I got to be at the baseball stadium at 8 o'clock in the morning. So this Wednesday, we're more than likely not going to have a tipping point with Mike Tipton. just because of how the schedule goes. Maybe I can pre-record something, but I also hate pre-recording the show. I'd rather miss the show than pre-record it, because if I record it and something happens that I should have talked about, I'll be upset. That was always my issue with iHeart. Whenever I first started doing the show, they wanted me to pre-record every show. Like, yeah, record it like at 7 o'clock in the evening. Tommy Canazza saying, I'd have to get paid 7 figures to miss a game because of my job. LOL. You don't know what they're paying me. It's not 7 figures, but it's nice. It was a good check. You add in a couple of decimals, and maybe we get a decent amount of figures. I got you, Tommy. I'm with you. I also again, emceeing Cowboys games. I would get paid to MC Dallas Cowboys games, which was a lot of fun over at Undisputed Craft House. 1881 Saul Kleinfeld Drive on the east side of El Paso. I know they got Cowboys Nation there, so maybe that'll be a place that I go hang out. I'm just trying to look for places. And it's the last, I guess, second to last. There might be another game there that I might miss. I have to look at the Chihuahua schedule. And Tommy's saying, then again, if I'm making 7 figures, I'm probably important enough to call in. Exactly. I feel like if you are making 7 figures, they'll be like, okay, we're getting our money's worth out of you, guy. We're bringing your happy ass in as much as possible. Which I feel like happens to me. I'm not getting paid 7 figures, but I know they're getting their money's worth. That's a good. I love my job though. It's a fun job. Again, I get to be a part of the sports world and making sure the broadcast is on TV. Just got to start talking to some bars, making sure they play some of the Chihuahua games and Locomotive games. I feel like I never see them on any of the local TVs. Nonetheless, gotta clear my mind about all that stuff. It was a great sports weekend this weekend. And I'm keeping up because I get the alerts on my phone all the time. They keep me updated with the scores and stuff like that are happening. I love the ESPN app. That's one of my favorite things that are out there. And going into the weekend, I didn't want to talk about it because I don't want to, I'm one of these players, I hate jinxes, right? And I was like, if I talk positively about my team, it's going to jinx them. And very quickly I realized my team is just going to be jinxed no matter what. The New York Yankees played the Boston Red Sox this weekend. If you're a baseball fan, that's one of your favorite rivalries that you want to see, right? The Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees going head to head at one another, just slugging it out for supremacy of the wild card. Used to be supremacy of the AL East. The Toronto Blue Jays seem to be running away with that right now. And the Boston Red Sox win 2 out of 3 versus the New York Yankees. The Yankees win Sunday night, so they avoid the sweep. They made it look like it was awesome. The Yankees now a half game behind the Boston Red Sox at the top of the wild card. A half game up on the Seattle Mariners. 3 games up on the Kansas City Royals. And 4.5 games up on the Texas Rangers. We're starting to get closer to the end of the season, edging ever so close to the end of the season. We've played 130 games, the New York Yankees have. 130 games. 32 games left in the regular season for baseball. Tommy Cananza happy about his Boston Red Sox jumping over the New York Yankees by half a game in the wild card standings. Still 5 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays. Maybe there's enough time to make up that difference. But we have finally reached this part of the baseball season where I can care, right? I've cared the entire time, but I can finally care and start talking about Major League Baseball and the storylines that are happening in it. And I was really using this weekend for the New York Yankees as like the measuring stick. What are they going to be able to do? The Boston Red Sox, a playoff caliber team. How are you going to perform against a playoff caliber team? Sure, you can beat the Marlins, you can beat the Rockies, you can beat, all the bad teams that are out, the White Sox, the Athletics, teams like that. You can beat the brakes off of them all you want. How are you going to perform against the playoff caliber teams? And the New York Yankees let me down. I didn't like what I saw on highlights. Their defense is still atrocious to me. They're not a good team. Like they're just not. They can get hot and make a World Series, but again, I don't see them being the best team in Major League Baseball. And leading into this weekend, we also got the San Diego Padres taking on the LA Dodgers, right? Like it was great because the San Diego Padres and the LA Dodgers are fighting for the supremacy of the NL West. And at the end of the weekend, the Dodgers have 74 wins and 57 losses. Meanwhile, the San Diego Padres have 74 wins and 57 losses. They are tied for first place in the division. The Dodgers and the Padres. It's coming down to the Dodgers and the Padres right now. At the end of the road, 32 games left. 30 games left. Can the Padres hold on to this momentum that they have going on right now? The Dodgers having all kinds of problems. Shohei getting rocked. Shohei needs confidence and all kinds of stuff like that. The Dodgers are also objectively not a great team. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun road to go down as we get towards the end of the Major League Baseball season. Going over the standings that we're at right now, the Toronto Blue Jays, the best team in the AL East. The Detroit Tigers with a 78-54 record, the best team in the AL Central. The Houston Astros with a 2-game lead over Cal Raleigh Big Dumper and them boys in Seattle, the Seattle Mariners. Cal Raleigh hitting his 48th and 49th home run yesterday, setting an all-time record for most home runs by a catcher. Houston currently leading the division by 2 games. The Mariners in the wild card hunt right now. The Rangers 4 games back of the wild card hunt. The Philadelphia Phillies, the best team in the NL East. The Mets are just falling off right now. They're 5-5 in their last 10. It's been a bad road for the Mets. They extended their lead over the Miami Marlins. The Marlins were close. The Marlins going into the trade deadline about a month ago now, the Marlins were making some noise. They probably should have sold, like Sandy Alcantara. Like they had some pieces they could have gotten rid of to maybe get some assets for the future, but they're just not good enough right now. The Milwaukee Brewers still with the best record in baseball, 81-50, a 5-game lead in the division over the Chicago Cubs. And then, of course, we mentioned the Dodgers and Padres fighting for first place right now, tied for first place at 74-57. Going over to the wild card standings, win over the AL East, which was the Boston Red Sox with a half-game lead over the New York Yankees, who have a half game on the Seattle Mariners right now. Those would be your 3 wild card teams. The Royals and Rangers on the outside looking in. In the NL, your wild card teams are the Cubs, the Padres, and the Mets. The Mets with the 1.5-game lead over a resurgent Cincinnati Reds. The Reds are a fun team to watch. Like they really are a fun team to watch. I love Ellie De La Cruz. Like if you haven't seen any, and there's no reason for you to watch Cincinnati Reds baseball, but if you haven't seen any Cincinnati Reds baseball, you've got to start tuning into this team. They are a fun team to watch. 1.5 games back. Then you got the Diamondbacks 5.5 at back. I feel like 5 games this late in the season, you're too far to make a push to get to the playoffs. It's really going to come down to those 4 teams, the Cubs, the Padres, the Mets, and the Reds, unless Arizona just gets red hot right now. Unless the Cardinals get red hot right now. I don't see a scenario for the Giants to make it. Same thing with the Marlins. The Marlins 8 games back of making the wild card. They would need a catastrophic collapse by the Mets, who seem to be the only team that might be caught right now. They need a catastrophic collapse by the Mets to get up there. And then they would need the Reds, the Diamondbacks, the Cards, and the Giants to all falter as well. So I feel like the Marlins, they're done. And we have one team with 32 games left in the Major League Baseball season. One team that is now finally mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. And that is the Colorado Rockies. With their 37-94 record. 37-94. They've played 131 games. 131 games. And they are 6 losses away from being the first team this year in Major League Baseball to lose 100 games. In 2 weeks, they'll more than likely have their 100 losses on the season. Bad year for the Colorado Rockies. But needless to say, like they kind of turned it around. Remember, they were supposed to set a record. I don't think they'll get the record now, but they were supposed to, they were on pace to set a record to be the worst team in Major League Baseball history. So them getting 37 wins, you got to give them a little bit of props, right? Like, again, it's obviously putting makeup on a pig, but I mean, it could have been worse. Like, it really could have been worse. Which is a weird thing to say. They are 20 games worse than the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. That's wild. The Pirates are objectively a bad team. All right, everybody, I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. I've got to call warranty places and things like that because I had some equipment break during Fire and Ice on Saturday. So I just want to get a head start on that before I got to go into work. Do the real job. I want to appreciate y'all so much for tuning into today's show. Tomorrow we'll be back for more Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. I'll see what we're going to do for Wednesday's show because I believe there's a day game for the El Paso Chihuahuas. I won't be able to do a show that day. So we'll see. It all depends on the schedule. I got to double check, triple check, quadruple check the schedule for the El Paso Chihuahuas. But until then, everybody, I want to thank you once again so much for your support. We will see you all tomorrow.